Hey everybody, what is up and welcome back to another lunch break here at 11 a.m. in California. And again, it's another sunny California for me. Let me know where you guys are joining in from. I know we always have people from basically every country, probably except for the one territory or continent I don't know if we've ever had a visitor from is Antarctica, but let's make it happen sometime, because I know if you're in Antarctica, it probably already feels like you're in some sort of quarantine. But hey, it's so good to hang out with you guys this afternoon. I have a really special guest. I'm really excited to have him join in just a minute here. Zachary Levi, who you may know from the beloved show Chuck and the character he played there, as well as his latest kind of more blockbuster film as a feature, Shazam! You're expecting something to change there. But I'm going to be joined by him in a second, so I'm actually just going to give him a little call, and we will start this lunch break. Comment where you're joining in from, and also comment for me really quick what you're eating. Today I'm having a tasty banana, and a lot of you might think, oh, that's not really a lunch, but this is a lunch break. This is like a snack. So let's see if Zachary Levi is in the chat. If not, we'll just wait for him. I know I talked to him a few minutes ago. He was still working out. So, man, that guy is ripped. I don't know. I do hot yoga as my workout, and it's not getting me ripped though. That's I'll have to ask him about that. So if you guys are just joining, I see people are from Indonesia. That's awesome. People from France, welcome. Buongiorno. One of my favorite films of all time. See if you guys know that little reference. Let me see if Zachary, I think his username is Zachary_Levi, but let me check. But he'll just join in just a second. Oh, there he is. I just saw him. Let's see if we can get him on here. So, what's up, dude?
What's up?
How's it going?
Yeah, it's pretty good, man. I mean, I'm just sequestered out here in Texas with a handful of other groovy folks on my ranch, which we barely left before there was a virus, and now that there is, life is still kind of similar for us, but obviously we're watching the news and seeing all the crazy and just praying for everybody and hoping that all this stuff resolves itself nicely. How are you doing? Where are you? Are you in California?
I'm in Los Angeles, yeah. Okay. I'm in California.
Are you from out there? You're from California, aren't you?
No, I'm from Portland, Oregon, born and raised.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'm in Austin, which is like the sister city to Portland.
Oh, it is the sister city, yeah.
Yeah, keep Portland weird, keep Austin weird.
Yeah, totally. Portland, I was just actually down there for a meeting down at Rooster Teeth with Bernie and the gang, and I don't know if you've been to their studio, but every time I go there, I've only been 4 or 5 times, and every time I'm like, oh, this place is, you guys have like these random donut shops, which is, they have the weird flavors, which is
just like Portland
thing. But yeah, so I was curious because in a Vanity Fair interview a couple of years ago, you talked about like having you had like generators and food.
Oh yeah.
Stored.
Like, I still have all that. Yeah.
Is that now coming in handy, or like is that too oddly like?
Fortunately, we haven't really had to tap into a lot of the emergency supplies that I've been stockpiling over the years. I mean, to be honest.
So what is that? Are you like a hoarder, or what? What's the?
No. I just I don't know. I'm just somebody, I think, because I had a very interesting childhood and a borderline personality mom. So you had to be prepared for anything. Mm-hmm. And I think living in LA with the earthquake that's always looming, like the big one that everyone's always talking about, and what would happen if that happened, and, kind of all hell would break loose. And so me and my younger sister, who was my assistant for many years, were like, why don't we just make sure that we have generators, make sure we have water, make sure we have rations of food, make sure we have extra first aid stuff and clothing in case, because also I wanted to be a place that people could find refuge, not just for us, but for other friends and family that needed to get somewhere safe and be nearby. And so, moving out to Texas, it was easy to just bring all that stuff with me. Yeah. I was just sitting in my barn.
And what was it? Were you living in LA at the time for all your shooting?
Yeah. During that article. Yeah. I'm actually the lighting is so much better this way.
Okay. That's my favorite thing talking about.
That's not better.
It's my favorite thing talking to filmmakers, because they're always worried about the lighting during a light.
Exactly. They're like, how's my light? How's my light right now?
Can you give me a little fill and a key light over here? A little 4x4 diffusion. So, and when did you move to Texas?
About 3 years ago.
Okay. Yeah. And had you had family, and because you were from Louisiana,
No,
right?
no. Honestly, like the long and the short of it was, I have always dreamt of, well, ever since I was a kid, I think like a lot of kids, I always wished I could live in like a cul-de-sac with all my best friends and family. Like,
Yeah.
I think we all desire community, tribal, however, like we feel it, it's necessary. Where that's one of the things I feel like we're all kind of coming back to, and oddly in all of this is like, you got to spend time with your family. Shocker.
Hmm.
You got to spend time with your closest circle and put roots down there and build that, and how important and valuable that is. And so I always wanted that when I was a kid. And then when I started working in Hollywood, I just felt very compelled to want to make a better version of what I saw that didn't feel right, that didn't feel like it was the most efficient way to make art, or take care of your audience and provide them the best content, and also take care of the people who are making the content. I think it could all be quite a bit more humane and all of that stuff. And so I felt very compelled to, I don't know, make a new type of United Artists studio or something. And I knew
Yeah.
that if I was ever going to do, and that was like 20 plus years ago. And over the years, I've just kind of, I don't know, prayed and meditated and thought a lot about it. And about 3 years ago, it dawned on me, after looking at a lot of different locations where I could possibly go, that Austin was the right place to do it. And then finding an area around the Austin area, where I could find a significant amount of acreage, and maybe, start building sound stages and
Yeah.
offices and places for people to live, where they could work here and live here full time, and, kind of an arts commune, but with the film studio at the heart, the beating heart of it, and music and whatever, all of it. I just felt like there's a better life out there for all of us, and we just have to try and hopefully go use whatever our platform privilege and resources are to go manifest that into the world, and invite other people along who feel and think similarly. And so that's what it is. And right now I've got like some really cool content creator folks who are here on property, who are massive fans of yours, by the way. They were like, "What are you doing talking to Zach King?" I was like, I don't know, follow him on Instagram. I've always thought he was super talented. I mean, you were taking over Vine when Vine was Vine. Remember that thing? And I was like,
Dude, that was crazy. Yeah.
I've always been a big fan of yours. I like how you do your content. I find it to be full of joy and delight and charm. And, you've taken the technology available to us and told really cool narrative through that, and seemed to be a good family guy. And I was like, so he seems like a good follow on Instagram. And then now here we are talking on Instagram.
That's so funny. So you guys are, I share a little bit of that conflict, and when I create and with my team in our current studio space, the dream has always been, is there a way to do content that's different than the Hollywood process, where, one of our core foundational beliefs as a company is to be able to have family that still exists at the end of your life, around you, and friends and a community, and not, the Hollywood lifestyle oftentimes can lead to just an exhausted kind of circle grind.
Oh yeah. And very disconnected. It disconnects people often, it's
so is that something you're trying to are you trying to like build a studio down there, like engineering that, like what does that look, how does that manifest itself?
Yeah. I mean, I've been at this now for, I mean, it's been the first year and a half were a little slow going, mainly because I just moved out here, and then I got Shazam almost, immediately after I was kind of living in Austin, and then into other projects. And so the last, couple of years have been a bit of a whirlwind, but we've also gotten to, make some good inroads with local legislators, and also other, people who have stepped into building studios, and trying to glean as much information and wisdom from them, and have them hopefully even come on board and be advisory. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of, it's basically what I'm trying to do is build a purpose-built city for filming and, television, film, whatever, really content in general, film or music production, music, performance,
cool.
And so it would be like a film studio, but that you could live at full time if you wanted to, and your family could live at, and there'd be schools here for people. I mean, it'd be like a diplomatic compound almost, like when you like, if ambassadors for the US go to live in other foreign countries, they have like their little spot where their kids go to school, and international schools or whatever, and there's like medical care there if they need it, or like a movie theater. I don't know. Right. Like imagine if you could, if Universal Studios, like if there was like really cool places to live, if you were like working on their movies or whatever. I don't know. I just think we spend so much time, unfortunately, juggling this live, work, play balance. And most of us don't get to do much living or playing. Most of us are just working ourselves to the bone, and we're commuting hours to and from work. And that's less and less time we get to spend with our friends and our family. And what if, as an, as an actor, the only way that I could work from home truly is if I had sound stages in my backyard. So that's selfishly, I'm doing this all very selfishly as well, yeah. Right? But I felt like if I'm going to build sound stages in my backyard, I might as well invite a bunch of my other actor friends or writers or directors or whomever, if they're like, hey, this seems like a better way to live, and community. And, and if you get a crazy idea, you like knock on your neighbor's door and like, hey, let's go write this thing. Let's go shoot this thing. Let's go,
right.
Kind of make it a little bit more about the collaborative spirits and figure out ways to, still monetize it so the whole place can still be going. We can all, have our livelihoods, but do it with fan input and response and really inclusive. And yeah, I don't know. I think there's just, I think that if something can be better, it should be better. And I don't care what it is. That's just a mantra in life. I think technology, if anything, if art can be better, if our communities can be better, if the food that we eat can be better, it should be better. And that's because we're all deserving of the best, I think, ultimately. And if we see each other with love and with empathy, then we don't think that this person across from us, well, they don't deserve it. I deserve the best, but that person doesn't deserve the best.
Right.
We all do. We absolutely all do. So.
Yeah, that's a massive dream. It's exciting to hear.
Crazy. Yeah,
it'd be cool if you opened it up eventually to other, creators, whether it's internet creators or up and coming filmmakers, where it's an incubator program or live on property internship kind of thing.
Oh yeah, we're gonna do all that, cool. and video game development and animation, and I think the arts are so cool right now because of technology and where the arts and technology have really kind of entirely meshed now. It's like they're inseparable. You couldn't pull them apart if you tried, nor should we. I mean, it's beautiful. The things like I've got an HTC Vive right now. Have you dabbled into I'm sure you played some VR. I'm sure you have some at your house.
Yes. We've got a Beat Saber currently set up at the studio. That's the number
one
game for us.
I'm losing my mind over Beat Saber. It's so much fun. It's like the best cardio I've ever had.
It's a workout. Yeah.
It's so great. It's so great. And
what are your thoughts on VR? Like, where do you think that's going?
Well,
do you think it's going to stay video game, or do you think it's going to be able to emerge as like a technology for filmmakers and
Oh, I think both. I mean, honestly, I think that video games and movies are, I mean, I don't know how long in the future. It just really depends on, appetite, but, audience appetite. But we're not that far away from movies and video games just kind of becoming a single thing where you just step into the movie as opposed to watching this 2-hour narrative.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to be able to just step into it and people will want to do that because you're going to get to hang out with some virtual reality version of all these superheroes. And imagine an Avengers where you get to just plop down into the action, and even if you're stuck in one spot, you can't really move around, but you've got your powers and you can shoot, your Spidey, and you're shooting defensive webs at whatever's going on and helping Iron Man, and all of a sudden you're there. Like, come on, that's insane. It's totally insane.
That'd be sick.
But I think that honestly, the VR and AR, or just mixed reality in general, I think is going to be, while it hasn't really tapped into the practical utilitarian market just yet, it will make a massive splash in those worlds and really be helping people. I mean, even like training people on new technologies and that, like you put on a headset and all of a sudden you can look at a tool and you see how it all works. And you're like, oh, wow, what a cool crash course and all this stuff. So I think that's definitely on the horizon. And then ultimately we're all just going to Matrix and we're jacked in and we're Duracells for the robot apocalypse.
All right. So I've got an emoji game here.
Let's do it.
To test your movie skills, but also just, I guess, here's the first. So the audience is about 15 seconds delayed from us. So if someone's beating you, that means you really suck at this game. So this is here. I'll give you an easy one first. Let's just start with fun, simple one.
Shazam.
Done.
It could have been the Flash, but no.
This classic.
That's Mountain. You Got Mail? No.
Yes, You've Got Mail. Tom Hanks.
Okay, these are all movie titles.
These are all movie titles.
Okay,
yes.
Okay, got it.
Not log lines.
When Harry Met Sally? No.
This is that's not a bad guess, but was Sally old?
No. Harold and Maude?
No, this is Mrs. Doubtfire.
Oh!
I mean, that's not really.
That's funny.
With the emojis that we had.
Finding Nemo. Easy.
There we go. There we go. I don't know if anyone in the audience has beat you
Uh,
yet.
Thank you for not smoking.
No, that's a good guess though, because
Uh,
it is one of them.
no smoking, no walking. Trash, smoke, hike, no walk. What is it?
The audience is gonna beat you here. Oh, someone just commented signs.
Signs. Wow.
All right,
Oh, that's
here's
tangled.
yeah. There we go.
That's great. That was a
We
good
just
thing.
gave that one to you.
Barbershop? No.
Come on, you got this.
Cut.
There's a lead male. There's some scissors.
Oh, Edward Scissorhands.
There we
Come
go.
on.
There we go.
Six eye ear.
You have got to be kidding me.
Spider-Man?
No.
No.
How is this Spider-Man?
I was just six. I was thinking like a rack, like 8 legs, 8 eyes, 6 eyes.
Oh, the people in the comments definitely have you beat on this one. It's 6 cents.
6 cents. Oh.
This is an oldie, but still good. I think it's actually a John Hughes film.
Breakfast Club.
Yep.
Yeah.
That was John Hughes, right?
Oh, wait a minute. Was that one backwards?
It might have maybe.
The club first. Is the club from what you're showing me? Is the club supposed to be the? First
I don't know because Instagram mirrored it, so
I know
we
so
printed them backwards. But maybe. Okay, here we go.
That's Midnight in Paris.
Yep, done.
That's Shark Tank. No, that's a locked dolphin.
But it's unlocked.
Unlocked dolphin. Free Willy.
Yes, Free Willy. There we go. There we go.
Psycho.
Yep.
That's a great Psycho.
Hitchcock classic.
Casino. Casino King.
Casino King.
Tiger King. Oh man.
The comments have you beat. The comments have you beat. It's Casino Royale.
Oh yes. Well
okay,
done.
we got 2 more here. Let's see if you can get this one here.
Men in Black.
Done. And the last one. I think the team made this one.
That would be Chuck.
Yeah, there we go. There we go. Good one to end on.
I think it did pretty good there.
Dude, I appreciate you hanging out. Super cool of you.
Absolutely.
How are you? I know we had questions from the audience, and one of them was, how do you find peace during this time? And I know you're a fellow believer, and I was just curious your thought. Like, what are you? Where's your headspace right now?
Yeah, man. I mean, honestly, like, you know, I often share my mental health journey. Like, I've gone through some really interesting and dark times in my life, and very grateful that I've gone through life-changing, life-saving therapy. And I think that that's helped tremendously because I dealt with anxiety so much in my life, and I didn't even know that I did because I didn't really know what anxiety was until it was pointed out to me. And I was like, oh my God, this has been in me for so long. The fortunate thing is my anxiety is triggered mostly by things that are within my control.
Mm-hmm.
And since this is one massive thing that is completely outside of all of our control, there's a lot of, I don't know, I've found a very strange peace in some of that, you know, like and it's also very, you know, it's like we're all in this together. We're all struggling through it together.
Yeah.
And if you can kind of use that as a little bit of a perspective shift, like for example, a friend of mine in London has been going through a really difficult time because he owns a couple different properties, things that he's, you know, a house that he bought for his mom and things like that. Mm-hmm. Well, apparently in London or in England right now, they're forgiving all of the rent that renters have.
Yes.
And right, which is a beautiful thing, except that they're not forgiving the mortgage payments that the owners of these places need to pay.
They have to still pay, yeah.
So he's stressing and having a difficult time. And I was like, man, look, I don't know what the answer is going to be, but I can guarantee you that you will be okay on the other side of this. We are going to be okay on the other side of this. There will be some loss. The economy is going to obviously get shaken up more gnarly than maybe it's ever been shaken up. I don't know what all this is going to do, but I have I don't know, man. It's like a peace beyond all understanding. I just have a peace about what's going to come from all of this. And I do think it's in Bill Gates recently wrote a whole thing about how this can be an incredible tutor, an incredible teacher for us if we're willing to learn from all of it. And I hope that we are. I hope that people are learning that just how disconnected we have been from ourselves and from our families and from one another. And, after 2 months or 3 months or 4 months of you not really being able to see your friends, you really miss and appreciate your friends.
Yeah.
You really miss and appreciate going to work. You miss and appreciate going to school. You miss and appreciate all the things that we take for granted right now. And so I'm just trying to embrace that as much as I can, knowing that I think this will be ultimately, after all is said and done, I hope that it shakes us all up enough where we start to, be kinder with one another and more patient with one another and more empathetic with one another and all of these things that I think Christ himself was just screaming at us when he was here. It's like, guys, are you not loving? Because that's what I'm asking you to do. Are you loving each other? Are you loving your enemy? Like, that's a thing that I don't think a lot of people even think about. A lot of Christians don't even really think about, It's easy to love those who love us. It's very difficult to, and that's not even really love. That's just like, okay, I'm going to give you the same thing you give me. That's not very difficult. But to go and truly see somebody deep down in them that you don't initially like, or even later on really like, but to love that person and to see the child in them, the child that God loves in them, like, that's the stuff that I think in all of this, I see it happening, and that gives me peace. And I go, okay. And then, of course, spending daily time in prayer and meditation and just talking to God throughout the day. And if I'm struggling with something, or even fortunately, I have these, really cool friends that I'm quarantined with, and I can go to them and say, hey, I'm kind of, struggling with this right now, and pray through it or talk through it or whatever. But I think also just, on top of all that, I think it's important that we're eating as best we can, not just couch potatoing ourselves, because that's an easy thing to do in what we're going through right now. And body movement, like, do something, move your body, keep it moving. It's an incredible instrument, this incredible meat machine that God gave us. And if we're just sitting around, then it's not generating all of the endorphins that it needs to generate, and mental health and emotional health are all tied to that. So all that,
Dude, appreciate it. Your deep, fast, wise words. Thank you for sharing and hanging out with us. I'm gonna let you go, but stay safe and have fun. Too. Are you gonna finish up your workout or something?
I just did it and took a shower right before I jumped on.
Oh, nice.
So we're all good. Yeah.
Cool. All right.
Nice to see you, man. Stay safe and sane. Blessings to you and your family, and to everybody out there watching. Have a great day, y'all. I'll hop on my live later if anybody wants to join me.
All right. You guys heard it. Go follow Zachary Levi. Peace out, man. You can go follow his account, and I'll link it in the stories after this. Thanks for hanging out, dude. I'm joined tomorrow by a really special guest as well. I'll be leaving that on my Insta stories. Shawn Johnson, you guys know from the Olympics, of course. So we'll be joined tomorrow by her and graced on this channel by her presence. So we'll see you guys later. Hope you guys enjoyed. For all of you tuning in and leaving comments, thank you. And again, Zach's going to be live on his account. There's 2 Zachs in one live stream. Maybe that's too much for Instagram to handle. But we made it through. All right. Peace out, guys. Take care and have a great Monday.